when you have Steph Curry versus De'Aaron Fox, when you have LeBron James versus Zion Williamson, and two of those won't be in the postseason at all, what do you make of this?
Well, first of all, let's throw Zion out of that equation.
Okay.
We started off the show, we mentioned celebrating what he had been doing over the last few months, but the play-in tournament looked like a deer in headlights. Today, with a 6th seed and a sure end in the first round of the playoffs on the line, he was a no-show, for crying out loud. He doesn't get mentioned in the equation of a LeBron James, a Steph Curry, or De'Aaron Fox, who put on a show last year, particularly in the postseason, that first-round matchup against Golden State. I honestly like the idea and the chances of both Steph Curry and LeBron James ending up in the postseason. Okay. I personally think that's going to happen. It also excites me, the thought of Golden State ending up winning enough to get into the first round and them going up against Oklahoma City in a first-round match as an 8th seed. That excites me as well, so I'm looking forward to all of it. And, of course, you can't stop but looking forward to Sacramento and Golden State before that. I can't wait for Tuesday night.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go back to Zion, because let's face it, we all watched with some sense of anticipation.
Yes.
And you mentioned the in-season tournament when he didn't play well, obviously, in the final, Stephen A. But the Pelicans, semifinal. But the Pelicans, I mean, they're supposed to be taking a step up, and Zion's supposed to be leading the way. Are they going to, at home on Tuesday night, lose for a consecutive time to the Lakers? Really? That's not a step forward for the Pelicans at all, with a lineup that is deep, that's got some experience in C.J. McCollum, that's got all the elements we think they need to even make a run in the Western Conference playoffs. They get the Lakers. They're going to drop a second consecutive game to the Lakers?
It's not just a second consecutive. It's 3 out of 4 times this year, including the in-season tournament. And, Stephen A., all 3 losses were by at least 16 points.
I mean, they just got to regroup. I feel like, Brandon Ingram first game back, right? Obviously, Murphy coming out of the starting lineup, going to the bench. They have been playing well with Zion being the point forward, right? So they just got to get it together. I mean, it's a golden opportunity for them to be at the house, and then host the Lakers again. But I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings, and I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors. I'm like, this might be a smackdown. For us, the Golden State Warriors going in there and taking their lunch money. Think about this for a second.
You think so?
Yes, because the Sacramento Kings are not only missing Malik Monk, but they're missing Kevin Huerter as well, right? So who is going to be that quote-unquote second option, right? Is it going to be Sabonis that, De'Aaron Fox need help on the offensive end? Who's going to elevate their game enough in order for the Sacramento Kings to beat the Golden State Warriors? Is it going to be Keegan Murray?
But they have to have some sort of pride about this too, right, Stephen A.? Because when you look at Game 7 of what went down last year, Steph coming into their house, dropping 50 on them to eliminate them, you imagine they want to have a little get back.
Well, listen, they can want what they want. We all want things we can't have. But in the end, what it comes down to is I think De'Aaron Fox is going to put on the show. I think he's going to be spectacular in the play-in. But I agree with Perk in terms of who you're going to find out, whether or not somebody else is going to, is a Harrison Barnes, a Keegan Murray, whoever the case may be. I think someone will step up, Big Perk, to make the game competitive. It being in Sacramento and the way they get up to play against Golden State, I think it will be a wire-to-wire matchup. I think Golden State will win. I think they'll close the deal because of what you pointed out, how you can't find that bona fide secondary option with Huerter out, with Malik Monk out. But I do think they will make it a very competitive game because that's what they do against one another, and I think they'll answer the call in that regard. It just won't be enough to win.